This is Things You Might Not Have Heard. I'm Jacob and Payne. I have for you today 8 stories queued up that you deem as conversational to help me get the right stories in. Stories that cover politics, current events, information, and pop culture news. And these stories include Wisconsin school shooting, updates to that one, and more about the actual motives behind the shooting. We also have more on Luigi Mangione. And Donald Trump is suing more people because suing seems to work. That's why the picture there of the pollster in Iowa, because suing seems to work. We'll explain the vetting process, how we end up picking these stories in just a bit, but want to remind you that our website and home is this. It's a conversationproject.com. We can find out more about what we do. It takes less time me yelling and harping about it and you guys figuring out on your own. And of course, email me at the conversation inbox at conversationinbox@gmail.com so we can discuss more things outside, making things better or not as worse as you say sometimes. If I haven't said it quite yet, and I don't think I have, today is Wednesday, the 18th of December, 2024. It is now officially 7 days till Christmas, so do not miss out on that one. And we want to make sure that you are all set, ready to go with the news headlines to get your day started, or just confirm your day if you're not watching this when we do this on the live feed at 5:30 in the morning. Now, let's get into the news headlines, and they are pretty dark. No particular order as they're being presented, but we do have some of the worst ones first, so we get them out of the way. Let's go with that. Starting off with more news for the Wisconsin police chief, who says school shooting motives was a combination of factors. Let's go into the story. On December the 16th, a tragic shooting occurred at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. It resulted in the deaths of a teacher and a student. 6 others injured. Some folks still fighting for their lives right now. The perpetrator was a 15-year-old named Natalie Samantha Rupnow, and she died of a self-inflicted gun wound after the actual incident. Now, authorities are investigating multiple potential factors, but some of the behind these things are possibly bullying. Also, some just things where essentially she was just being bullied and just could not get past it. Also, some of her personal writings and online activities show that she had some things that were in mindsets of possible motives that might have been outside the scope that you expect from a young woman. And like they say, these things don't happen by young women. These things are very, very rare. And she seemed to have some of the tendency, some of the writings and a manifesto of her own working on her hate and anger that sort of surfaced online, and to try to verify the fact that these things actually belong to her. She actually said these words, wrote these words out, thought these things, and if they were the actual motivation behind what she pulled off the full days ago. A photo of her on a gun range wearing a t-shirt similar to one worn by the Columbine shooters out there as well. These things are all circumstantial at the moment. They don't really prove anything. But right now, what we're seeing from the Madison Police Chief, Sean Barnes, is a lot of honesty, a lot of truth, a lot of things saying he doesn't really know what's going on, and a lot of empathy for what situation is going on. A lot of praise going to this chief as he is being as transparent as possible in the situation, letting people know what information is there, including fixing errors that are being put out there by the police station and the press. So we are looking for answers. We're getting closer to answers. We hope they are real and solid answers. We hope that there's some healing coming for that city and, yes, our nation, with yet another tragic school shooting and right before the Christmas holidays. A tragic shooting, whether you want to believe it was righteous or not, still tragic, happened 2 weeks ago with Luigi Mangione. He has now been indicted in New York City for murder of the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, officially on the books for this one. And of course, Mangione is an Ivy League grad, 26-year-old, and he's been indicted by a grand jury for murder in the case of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Charges include first-degree murder as an act of terrorism and second-degree murder and multiple counts of weapon possession. So there's a lot that got thrown to him in the time allotted to make this thing happen. The incident, of course, happened on the 4th of December outside the New York Hilton Midtown Hotel. Thompson was attending an investor event and walking to the event when Mangione came up behind him, shot him, and got on a bike and disappeared for a few days. His gun, a ghost gun, 3D printed gun that can't be traced to anything, was also found on him when he was found in Pennsylvania. Also, a silencer, which was used in the event to help sort of muffle the sound and make it look like it was more of a professional hit, make it look easy to get away with. The manhunt was only 5 days, and he was, of course, apprehended in Pennsylvania, and he has to face charges there for holding on to this stuff, and the charges in New York City for actually committing the crime. They believe his motive stemmed from personal grievances against the healthcare industry, not particularly against him, Brian Thompson, or UnitedHealth themselves, because he can't seem to be found as a client. But he has disappeared from essentially life lately, dealing with some issues with back pain and just sort of just picking up the manifesto lifestyle, for lack of a better term. We're going to see how this thing plays out for quite some time. This is going to definitely be something that will keep people's attention. And while I get all the comments on my videos and on my reports saying he didn't do it, looks a lot awful like he did it. And while the mugshots make him a lot less handsome, people are still sort of going with the motives that they believe he has, is that healthcare systems is wrong, and they probably wish they could have did it too. And if they could have did it, they wish they could get away with it. It's the sad reality of where we are in the state of affairs as people right now. Let's go to Donald Trump, and we're going to have a lot of Trump going on in the next 4 years. Now, I have stated publicly that I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I've never really been a fan. I thought The Apprentice was kind of shammy in itself. Trump Steaks, Trump University, Trump Water, all those things. The casinos going bankrupt, those things. But here's the thing where you've got to kind of give it to him for seeing something that works and going with it. As Trump is going to sue the Des Moines Register and Pollster, the Pollster being J. Ann Seltzer, for election interference. He's suing everyone for election interference, even though he won the election, which is what's ridiculous about it. It's not the fact that he's lashing out because he said he was going to. It's the fact that he won, yet he's still saying everybody was trying to get in the way and stop himself, so they should be stopped. They should be punished. So what is President-elect Donald Trump actually doing? A lawsuit against the Des Moines Register and the Pollster that was published in that Register newspaper, J. Ann Seltzer. The allegations are brazen election interference through a poll that inaccurately predicted his loss in Iowa during the 2024 presidential election. Poll released on November the 2nd said that Kamala Harris may win by 3 percentage points. Of course, Trump won by 13 points. So not only was the poll wrong, it was still within the margin of error, and Trump was still expected to win, just by not as much. The legal team says that this poll was essentially a smoke job, a smoke screen, but put up there so that people would say, there's no reason for me to vote because Trump's going to lose this thing, and make people believe that Harris people were going to win. So it would suppress the voters that would go to Donald Trump. In fact, he got even more votes than before, which is the sort of baffling part about the lawsuit, not the actual election. People aren't so much surprised he won. They're just so surprised that Trump is still being a sore winner in the process. He's suing the newspaper. He's suing Seltzer's firm called Seltzer and Company and Gannett, the owner of the Des Moines Register, for violating the Iowa Consumer Fraud Act. They're pulling out all the stops. Now, he's already settled a lawsuit with ABC, nay Disney, for $15 million. $15 million that's not going to him in his pockets, but going to his presidential library fund eventually. ABC, basically Disney, said they didn't want this smoke. They didn't want to deal any with this stuff with him. And this was about George Stephanopoulos calling Donald Trump a rapist in an interview online when he has not been convicted of rape. He has not been convicted of rape. He's convicted of sexual assault. The terminology makes a difference. And so when he confronted a member of Congress on saying, why would you support somebody who did rape on TV, Trump got mad, Trump lashed out and got this lawsuit settled. Not quite won yet. We'll see what happens with other places. And if he keeps winning these lawsuits, he couldn't win any lawsuits that said he won the election last time, but he's winning lawsuits saying that people try to help him lose the election that he actually won. It is bizarre world. It definitely is. Our story at the number 4 spot, revisiting Gilgo Beach killer Rex Heuermann, who actually is now in charge with a 7th murder with new, very, very crazy details. So if you're not into this stuff, you got about 5 seconds to skip ahead to the next story. Rex Heuermann is a 61-year-old architect from Long Island. He's been charged with the murder of Valerie Mack, a new murder, marking the 7th alleged victim in the Gilgo Beach serial killings. Mack was a 24-year-old sex worker who disappeared in 2000. Her disembodied remains were discovered in Manorville and near Gilgo Beach in 2000 and 2011, respectively. Key evidence linking Heuermann to Mack's murder includes DNA analysis and disturbing materials in his possession. Some DNA evidence to going, also violent materials that he had, and of course, detailed plans on how he did these things, and particularly what looks like something that talks about how he dealt with this one in particular. He's pleaded not guilty to all the charges that he's got, all 7 of them. His arrest in July 2023 initially conducted with 4 murders, then to 6, now to 7. Investigation is still ongoing, obviously. Authorities are examining potential links to other unsolved cases in the area. This one If you're a true crime fan, this is one that's going to eventually be in your podcasting feeds or in your news feeds or on Dateline in 48 hours, because once they get this one settled out, because this is one the people really want to know about, because the people who live there want to know, and all the curious folks around the world want to get into it as well. We want to thank you for tuning into this program, this video, and all the videos we have on our feeds. We need your help going forward. And we need your help a lot right now, because we actually have what looks like some sort of a attack going on. I have a few videos out there that are getting a ton load of negative reviews, and but not a lot, and a ton load of negative comments. But the count numbers for the views are a little skewy. And in fact, the comments came in a little hot and heavy before all the views came in. So if you want to keep more stuff like me on the air, my PBS pitch, if you want to keep stuff like this in the air, we need you to like more stuff. A small click for you, it helps out immensely, especially battling some of what I'm getting now that I'm gaining some traction. I'm getting a little bit of feedback, pushback, people who are just sort of trolling. So to help the trolls, help me and the trolls, help us all together, give the trolls a place to troll, we need you to like the videos. So like this one if you're enjoying it because you like the content we're giving you, like the news we're giving you, or if you are a troll, you can be a troll. Just hit like so they get more trolling in instead of dislike, because it really skewers things the other way around. Share this video with people you know who would enjoy it, who like this type of news, like this type of stuff. Share all of our videos, all those things we have for people that you know will get into it. Hopefully they will join on as well. And subscribe to what we're producing so you don't miss out in your feed. Because at some point in time, the trolls are going to troll and try to deregulate, show less of my stuff. And so to make sure that we can fight the powers that be, or the trolls that be, if you will, subscribe so you don't miss out on the stuff. Whether you watch it in the live feeds or watch it when you check your feeds later in the day, we provide for you news articles, news stories, and commentary. That's, I say, bar none. It's the straight news for the best we can do. And of course, the commentary, it's my commentary, but I give you the chance to have a conversation and go back and forth with it. So like, share, and subscribe to get us all in the conversation and more people in those conversations. I love talking about Cardi B. I love talking about Megan Thee Stallion. I love talking about those ladies, but they keep getting into all these sort of issues that are actual serious. So people can't get past the female rappers with the face all done and all pretty looking stuff and the bodies looking tight, but they have real issues. Megan Thee Stallion is dealing with a restraining order, or actually wants one, against Tory Lanez because she's accusing him of harassment, even though he's been put away. Yeah, she's filed this petition for a restraining order against Tory Lanez, saying that he continues to harass her from prison through intermediaries. Hello, Diddy. Lanez is currently serving a 10-year sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the feet in 2020. Sounds pretty bad, because it is. The petition claims that Lanez orchestrated attacks on her credibility via bloggers and social media, causing her ongoing trauma and re-victimization. The court hearing is scheduled for January the 9th across this matter. Will this become an issue going forward? We don't know. We right now know that Cardi B is dealing with her defamation lawsuit from the blogger who's still doing nutso stuff in this one. Megan Thee Stallion had physical harm being dealt with her, and now she's being assaulted, in a sense, from the blogosphere. Leave these ladies alone. If you don't like the music, just don't listen to the music. If you think you're trying to help out your boy Lanez in this one, he's got prison time to serve. Let him serve his time and be done with it. Leave my girl Cardi alone. Ironically, leave her alone is what's being said for Hannah Kobayashi, as she has been returned to the U.S. weeks after she went missing in Los Angeles. Basically went to Mexico for a few weeks. And now the family is kind of looking for a bit of quiet time. Not quite closure yet, because there's still answers that they want to get. Trying to take care of it in a manner that is private, if you will. The photographer, 30-year-old from Hawaii, reported missing on November 11th after failing to board a connecting flight from Los Angeles, New York. Nationwide disappearance was a big deal until the police said, she just went to Mexico. We'll talk to her when she gets back. In fact, it was so just weird that her father actually went from Hawaii to Los Angeles and died by suicide, a few weeks later. And we don't have an answer to that one. Right now, she is back. She is looking for privacy, and the family is saying they want to move on to this. Hannah says in a statement, "My focus is now on my healing." Whatever that actually means. She was reportedly unaware of the extensive media coverage during her absence. She went to Mexico and didn't realize that, her family would freak out because she missed the flight and people would go nuts on it. In fact, she was actually communicating with certain members that show that she was alive, she was okay, and things were a little squirrely, but all was mostly well. Allegedly, there's unresolved questions about a green card and a marriage scam that really the family is kind of like, we don't know what's going on with this one yet. We just want a girl back. She's back. We shall get to this one. The case is officially closed by the Los Angeles Police Department. They can wrap this one up as done because she done, it over. It's the collective internet's fault problem now. This wasn't one of a really big, massive stories. In fact, the larger story from the day was the late posting on LeBron James taking his time away and explaining himself. I don't think he explained himself very well, so we skipped that one. But this one is actually more in tune with what's happening with NBA right now. Ratings are not great. This Emirates Cup thing that I guess wrapped up last night. I don't care. I want real basketball when the count. I'll watch on Christmas, even though football is fighting for that time now. The NBA is revealing a new All-Star game format for this season. They're going to put it in place this year, 2025, with a 4-team tournament, if you will. It's aimed to enhance excitement and competitiveness for the game. The aspects will be that the 4 teams will actually play against each other. 3 of them will be 8 All-Stars each, and the 4th being the winner of the Rising Stars Challenge. So it'll be All-Stars, 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 and rookie sophomores. That might be interesting if you want to see all that stuff going on. The teams, the All-Star teams are going to be drafted again, so they split them up. Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal will get their swan song we may see from TNT, since we're not sure what's happening with Inside the NBA, but this year they get to coach the teams, and the Rising Stars teams will be led by Candace Parker, who should smoke them all. And I said that out loud. It's going to be interesting. They'll have to see how it plays out. There's a pool prize of $1.8 million for the winners. So if you want to get some money, you want to be on this all-star team. This is the reason for players to show up and be there, not just make the team and sit on the sidelines. This is going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. It's basically more basketball to get more people involved, but it's an interesting matchup where the matchups aren't already determined, and it should not be more of a, it still be, like no defense. It's going to be all throwing up balls and all alley-oops all night, but we'll see how this thing plays out, if it works, and if this is a thing to change things going forward. A lot of excitement around pro basketball, including the new Women's 3-on-3 League coming up soon, and we'll see what happens with the new All-Star matchup, the 4-team tournament with 4 teams and the All-Stars, the Rising Stars, making their way to wherever it is this season. And what may be one of the bigger stories, and it was an extremely popular story when it posted. It was an early release story early in the morning, so it had a lot of time to grow and was growing a bit. We almost used it because it was in the window for yesterday. You want to see how much more people got involved in this one. This is big. Grace O'Malley has announced her departure from Barstool Sports in an emotional message. The co-host of Plan Brie Uncut, that podcast, Brianna Chicken Fry LaPaglia, announced she's leaving Barstool Sports. The decision follows a public fallout between O'Malley and LaPaglia, reportedly linked to LaPaglia's relationship with singer Zach Bryan. So yeah, drama. LaPaglia claimed that O'Malley did not defend her during online attacks related to alleged emotional abuse by Bryan, leading to a breakdown in their relationship and their friendship and their professional collaboration. Henceforth, the Plan Brie Uncut is done. The last episode was aired in October, and they basically had plans to do other things. O'Malley is now done. Despite the end of their partnership, she expressed, O'Malley, gratitude for the experience with Barstool Sports and initially intended to remain with the company, but she was released with a note from the Barstool folks, from Dave Portnoy. And she gave a message saying, I'm so grateful to everyone at the company and to Barstool Sports and founder Dave Portnoy for taking a chance on me. Great attention from fans with disappointment over the dissolution of the duo's collaboration and their friendship, and these things happen, but when they happen publicly and for people you have your parasocial relationships with, the people you don't really know but you feel like you know them, I'm looking at you, Talk to a Girl, it becomes a big deal. She's not announced any future plans, so we don't know what she's doing right now for pay, for money. She'll probably get another podcasting gig someplace because she's got that popularity, if not as a host, more as a background producer doing the things going forward. We are happy for the chances that Barstool's points took on a person like O'Malley. I'm not the biggest fan of Barstool. I just ain't. And I'm kind of in a weird generational part where, I'm in the generation of the old guys that got into podcasting, but I'm not really those guys. And then the young guys doing the hip stuff that I'm not really into. So I'm in a podcasting weird world, which is why essentially the Conversation Project exists. It's kind of boring. It's kind of dull, but it basically relies on, here's the facts. Here's a little bit of opinion. What do you think? As opposed to just blah, 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 beers and beers. Good luck to you, Grace. We hope things are coming up roses for you in the future. We know you will do great things. Or maybe you'll just take over the world. Whatever you decide. It's all on you. Let's move to our teaser segment right here. And this is one we really had an audible that popped up last minute. I actually, to my left, I have my script that has everything written there so I can scroll through and keep what's going on. And then within literally minutes of actually going on, I decided to actually change something and post this because I didn't actually have the story posted. So it's posted. It may be a while for you to get there. So if you're an early watcher of this show, it may take a while to get there. But we needed to do this in there because after doing Trump and him suing pollsters and newspapers for putting out polls that had no effect on his win, he's actually going pretty heavy in the retribution stuff. And even though he said he would not push the FBI or Department of Justice to go investigate folks, he's suggesting many people should be investigated, including Liz Cheney. She, from her perspective, this Daily Beast article, goes nuclear over the demand by the GOP, the people who are now in charge of Congress, and she's no longer there, that she should face a criminal probe. Donald Trump and many other folks in Congress are saying she should actually be charged with something. And she's going nutballs crazy against this. Check out this story. Get deeper in detail this one. This is one that sort of came out of left field, but all of a sudden, Trump is saying all these people that should be looked into. He's suing TV companies and newspapers. And maybe Liz Cheney should go to jail because she may have tampered with a witness. Cheney, not one to shy away. She's fighting back. Check out the article as in our feeds, and you can let us know if this is worthy of talking about. Our feeds on Facebook, facebook.com/thisisconversationproject, twitter.com or x.com. Twitter still works, believe it or not. th_conversation. What you see every 50 minutes are news articles from various sources, including the Daily Beast. May not be a fan, but this is the one we picked from. So engage in the article, engage in the headline, engage in the tweet or the posting on Facebook. The higher you engage in it, whatever emoji face you want to give to it because you like the story or you hate the story, we will take a look at it. And if it's one that is engaging enough, it's high enough to look at, we may pull it for tomorrow. The Kobayashi story for Hannah Kobayashi was the story we teased yesterday. It obviously made it in there. It was very engaging. Engagement means based off the 30 stories we'll probably post within this day, this Wednesday, span of Wednesday and early Thursday, we'll take 15, 16, top half of those stories and look at them and pick 8 of those stories to present to you here in the program for Thursday. Is this a top 15 story? Does this get some sort of contention for being one of the 8 stories you pick? Liz Cheney is hot as hell about all this stuff and Trump saying she should go to jail. Do you think she should go to jail? Do you think she should fight? Do you think this is a story that's a non sequitur? You let me know and we'll chat about it. Or we'll not if you don't think it's conversational. I told you we'd talk about the Blinkist Spaces today because that's really conversational. That's what we're going to focus on today's commercial. Today's sponsor is Blinkist. Use our link, thisisconversationproject.com/Blinkist, and we get a small affiliate click for you using this link. So add this app to your phone or use it on your computer and check out more books. You can read books in 15 minutes that would take you anywhere from 3 hours to days. That's some down. Some of the bigger, 18-hour tomes I listen to can be listened to in about 30, 35 minutes. Some of the things that are 4 or 5 hours in a good sitting can be listened to in 15 minutes or so, or read, if you will, because they print out the blinks. They're small smatterings of the real essence of the books, or you can listen to them in audiobook form. I listen to them, to be honest. 6,500 different bestsellers in less than 50 minutes, most of them. Bite-sized summaries called Blinks. And what they have is a feature called Blinkist Spaces. So you pay for the Blinkist app. You're a person paying for it. You can share a open space in the cloud with other people who can listen to and read those same Blinks, and you can have conversation with them there. You can be the book club owner, book club member, and book club buyer and share the books with everyone else who don't have to pay. That's what Blinkist Space is all about. You can share the love of books with people, specific books, so you can get more people to talk about them in your Blinkist book club, which we'll bring back as well. What do you think? Blinkist is the best way to get up on your day and your books in the same time. You've got 15 minutes. You got a break between a meeting. You got some time to chill somewhere. Open up Blinkist, read a book. Read a book in 15 minutes. We need you to use our link so we get a small commission back, but we also need you to be more engaged. I'm finding, as it is in comments, just to go, left field for a second, some of the people who are offering their opinions really have less in the way of good opinions. And it is what it is. It's the internet. But the best way to do that, the best way to fight ignorance is with knowledge. Give it to people. Give them a chance to get it. If it's a gift they don't open it, then it's fine. But here's a gift for you to take in for your season. And if you're running out of time on Christmas, it is 7 days, a week till Christmas. Guess what? Get a subscription to the Blinkist app. It's simple. It's easy. You pay for it. You download, you send it to them. It's done. This is theconversationproject.com/Blinkist. This is theconversationproject.com/Blinkist. You have a reader in your family who can't get enough books because they realize they can't read them all. They cost too much. Blinkist is the way to go. Send them a subscription to Blinkist, and they will thank you profusely. I will thank profusely because we get a commission hit. We like that. The Conversation Project, the quick chance to promote us is found online at this is theconversationproject.com. What you find with the Conversation Project is more of me, literally more of me just yakking about news stories. Past episodes, past videos of news stories you can catch up on if they're still relevant. If they're not relevant, you can say how that idea, that take really went south pretty quickly. But also we have ways to engage, including our email newsletter. We have ways to be found in various places. If you don't like the long form, follow us on TikTok, and we do clips and hits on things all day long. We have ways for you to help us out and connect with us, including the sponsorship links and our partnership page. So check this out if you want to help us out with those as well. Grow the project, if you will. But the biggest things about the Conversation Project, you can find all the stuff you need to about that is we need to stay alive online with these videos, with our audios and our podcasts to get you the news coming for you. So follow us on our feeds on Facebook and X and let us know what stories to talk about so we have the right stories we're talking about. We're talking about the real conversational stories. That is the real plan. That is the point we do here. And if we need some help, yes, partners have a direct link to me and can chat to me anytime, but you don't have to have a paid sponsorship to get a hold of me. Email the conversation inbox at gmail.com. All emails are read. All emails are considered. Some of them make me cry. And if you wrote that email that made me cry, so you should feel bad for yourself. You really should. But email the conversation inbox at gmail.com. Visit the website. This is theconversationproject.com. Reply in the comments for the video so I know what we're doing right or what we're not doing so right. And just let me know what you think about what's going on. And if you want to review bomb something, I guess as long as I'm getting views, it's good, but don't review bomb it and then just don't not watch any of it. That's the thing is I'm seeing the drop off on this video extremely high, which shows me all these people that are commenting are just saying random stuff based off the headline. And it's obvious that they're not actually reading the article or listening to the stuff because I explained the whole thing in it within about 90 seconds. Thank you very much. In the meantime, we thank you for being with us for this Wednesday, the 18th of December, 7 days till Christmas. Do not mess this up. This time next week, we'll produce something of a Christmas-ish thing because something will exist. I have some time off, if you will, so we're working on things in bits and pieces as it is. Plus, now that we're recording this live to tape, it should be a little easier. In the meantime, love yourself because you are the most important thing to you and me. Love your fans and family. Find some cheer in this Christmas, even though some of the news stories is pretty dark and bleak. There is some magic in Christmas. So find a young kid, give them a gift, and watch them smile, if anything. Love you guys. Mean it so much. Let's do this again tomorrow.